Hello there, crafty friends. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. December is always hectic for all of us. I wish you a very happy new year. I hope you've had a wonderful Christmas with family and friends. And now it's time to get back into crafting. And I've got a new product that's coming out on January 6th. And this is called Gears and Textures Dies. And that's one thing we seem to all want more of, is something for the guys in our lives. Scrapbooking and card making. So today it's going to be card making, and I'm going to show you how to emboss using dies. Now this, I've heard about it before, but I've never tried it. So I thought I would share my findings today on a couple of cards. So I've got some very vanilla cardstock cut at 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches and some earthen metallic paper cut at 5 1/2 inches by 4 1/4 inches. I've gone ahead and cut some of my pieces so that we didn't waste too much time just doing die cutting when I really wanted to show you how to emboss using these dies. So I will bring my die cut machine over. Now this is the Stampin cut and emboss machine. You may need to work out your own sandwich with your machine. It was trial and error for me. I used my electronic Sizzix. It didn't really have much success, and it cut through the cardstock. Not just emboss it, it really cut through in some areas. So bring across what we need. So we're going to start with, I might just there so that you can see a bit more what I've got. So it's time to build our sandwich. So we have the base number 1 plate, a clear number 3 plate, 2 sheets of cardstock shims, silicone matte from Stampin', your cardstock, and then we're going to pop our dies face down. Going to start with the larger ones a little bit more spread out, and then put the smaller ones in between. They can go off the edge, and I'll run those through. Oh, there's a tiny little one there. I'll pop that one in there. Then our second number 3 clear plate. And you'll see the embossed pattern there. Okay, so let's fill in the rest. And there we have an embossed piece of cardstock with using our dies. Now we could put something in the centre there if we like. Let's see, I might pop that in there just to fill it up a little bit more. Okay, all right, well, we'll continue and we're going to do some more treatment to those cardstock panels. So I'm going to bring in an all-purpose mat so that I can do adding some ink to these. So you'll find on this side it looks like it's going to cut through. This is the side I'm going to keep, the indented side. So you can use either side. I'm going to use some crumb cake ink coming from the outside. Going to concentrate the colours at the corners. And around the edges. I think the ink distressing goes well with this type of dies. And then I'm going to just randomly do little bits here and there to dirty up the cardstock a bit. I'm not making it even. And that ink is catching on those raised portions. Going to do the same with this one. I did another piece and I added in those long dies. But I'm going to do the same treatment. So I may as well do both, save some time. Really getting a bit more colour in the corners to give it a bit of a vignette look. So now I want to add some splatters. I'm going to add a bit of ink to a block, a water brush, and I like to use something to tap it rather than my finger. I don't think I've got enough strength. And you can do as much or as little as you like. That's just a little bit there. Yep, I like that. I think I'll add some more to this one. That's better. Okay. So that's that. Okay, so I've done the same to both sides. I would like to stamp my sentiment in early espresso. Now I have used, to cut this, These are discontinued dies. Countryside corners, I think they were called. So I've used the two smallest ones. And I will be using the Round We Go Happiest Birthday. Bring it a bit closer to me so I can see over the top. With these, I'll get these closed up so that I'm using some score tape to stick down onto this slick metallic surface. I find glue just makes it slip and slide. And this is nice and strong. Just burnish it in with your fingers. And love this piercing all-purpose tool. These are the two ends I seem to use the most, but it does have other ends. Has a spatula that you can take them out. See the spatula? And then you just slide it in. Okay. And I should give this a bit of a clean up, seeing as we've been making a bit of a mess there. Line up a corner. Okay, so I've got little bits and pieces. I think we'll pop that large one down there and then have it cascade up towards the top. And then you'll be able to still see underneath. That's one of the things I liked about. You have some open spaces there. And just tuck that under there, and then we can have the sentiment across there. So, bit of glue, not too much. I'll grab these ones from the outside. Just tuck that under. I like them touching. I will mount the sentiment on some foam, but these will remain flat. And you can put a couple of blocks on them just to help them stick while it dries. and you could do a few of these panels all at once, have them on hand ready for when you need a card. You could do different colours for the background. If you're going to add ink, then you would want a lighter cardstock shade. Centre this. Some dimensionals. I like lots of dimensionals. I don't like things getting squished in the post. Okay, and then that can go across like that. Okay, that's our first card completed. Look at that shine. And having the more grungy look at the back helps with the shine of your earthen metallic paper. Okay, next card. So we've done the same treatment so far, some different shapes on there and a few more gaps. Now this is a product no longer available, Metallic Enamel Effects, and this is the copper. But I thought that this might add a nice effect. Now I'm just going to use my finger. And what I'm doing is I just wanted to catch the edges, the raised edges. Very organic look to it. Try and mess it up a bit there. And they're going to all look a bit different. Start from the inside, work your way out. Just grunge it up a little bit. And it dries fairly quickly. Okay, and that's got a bit of shine to it as well. So we're going to pop that on there. So I've got my pieces here. So I cut some of these ones out as well. We might have that going in a different direction too. And if there's a spot on there you don't really like, actually, you know what I haven't done yet? I cut some of them out in just the French vanilla, and we're going to dirty these up as well. So I'm going to start from the inside, work my way out, Start from the outside, you know, it doesn't matter. We just want to get them a little bit grungy looking. Okay. And then they'll lift off the page, the card, not the page, the background. So if we do a bit more, I mean, you could cut these out of basic beige or something, or crumb cake, but I like the different looks, the different shades that you're going to get by using ink. Okay, all right. That's for our sentiment. So we want to build this. So I want this to go in the opposite direction to these embossed pieces. Maybe have that come across. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. And then a sentiment probably here. So let's get a sentiment. I'll bring in something, I don't have many punches, but I'm really happy with this one. So it's got these 3 little tags, and I'm just going to cut one, and they cut so easily. So if we have that go there, now I've got a little happy birthday there, and that comes from this set, Banner Sayings, which goes with this. So that's where I got that from. We'll do that in early espresso ink. Oh, we've got one, I should have another one here. Okay, a little birthday saying. You don't want to press down too hard with those delicate stamps. They tend to squish out. And a little bit of ink. There we go. And that can go across there. You could even use, with these ones, cut them, put some adhesive sheet behind so you didn't have to add glue. But I didn't think of that when I was cutting it out. And we'll pop that in that little space there. So these are new, also coming out next week, faux bronze pentagons. And I think these will look great in the centre of these. And Just a couple of sizes. Put these smaller ones here. And one in the center of that. I don't think I stuck that one down. Okay. There, finishing touches. Okay, let's clear up and bring the other card back. And I might move this out of the way so you can see better. There's our 2 cards today, using dies to create an embossing folder look. So there could be dies in your stash that you would have really liked them as an embossing folder, like I did with this. I would have loved an embossing folder, but guess what? You don't need to go and look for that. You can create your own embossing folder using your dies. So if you like what you've seen today, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like, leave a comment, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.